What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Impel Forward podcast. I am your host, Leon, and today I have with me Lou Torres. He is the owner and CEO of CocoCrissi. Now, they say that he's the largest icy vendor on the East Coast and maybe the country. I don't know, but we're about to find out. What's going on?
How you doing, good brother?
Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, is that true?
It is. Even when it wasn't, when it was just two carts, I was saying we were the biggest in the country. Just manifested it, but yes, we are now because 18 years into the business, we now have 6 trucks, trailers, vans, stores, 20 plus carts, and we're doing on average 6 festivals a weekend. So yeah, there's no other mobile. Now, when mobile Italian ice, not the biggest Italian ice company, but the biggest mobile Italian ice company in the country.
Yeah. I just saw you just added another truck.
I did, man. God blessed us last week with another truck for the business.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Now, so you moved down here from New York to go to college.
I did. Shaw University.
Yep. Now, of course, I know you graduated and got your degree
in business.
Yes,
sir.
So you had to work for somebody before you started the company.
Yeah.
So what made you want to branch out and do your own thing?
Oh, that's a great question. Because going into college, I went in knowing I wanted to do something in business, which was sales. So I had prior experience before going to college. And for 4 years in undergrad, I had internships with SAS Institute, Pepsi, AT&T, and IBM, learning the corporate lifestyle and going up that path. And when I finally got there, it was cool. And I was making money, but it's like, this is not it. Like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. So one night I just prayed. I said, Lord, I want to run my own business. What do I do? And I woke up that next morning, sat at the foot of the bed. And the first thing that came out of my mouth, the Holy Spirit said, Ices. That's it. Just Ices. And I heard myself say it. And this was in 2007. But it wasn't until 2009 when I moved forward on the word that was given to me. And we've been rolling ever since.
Yeah. Now, it may have took him 2 years.
Yeah.
But he took action, which is what.
So yeah. Let me follow that up though, because most people, man, what stops us is what I call dream killers is fear and procrastination.
Oh yeah.
And I got the word in 2007, and I knew it would do well, but fear and procrastination stopped me from moving forward. But in the winter of 2009, God spoke to me again and said, Lou, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm gonna give your blessing to somebody else. Like a father scolding his son who didn't do what he was told to do. And it prompted me to take action. I said, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot. And went out with one cart in March of 2009 and going into our 18th year now. Now we're the largest in the country. But I had to act on the prompt.
Yes, a lot of times we do have these ideas, and we might see somebody else doing that idea and say, man, I thought about this a couple of years ago. And that might prompt you to go ahead and get it done. So what did you originally started at?
So like when I first started selling ices?
Selling ices.
There was a flea market in Raleigh off of Rock Quarry Road, which is now YMCA. Back then it was called Watkins Flea Market. And that's where I think I paid like $20 a day to be there. Other vendors did too. And at that time, that's when you can buy like anything bootleg DVDs, fake Jordans, fake Louis bags before they cracked it down. But yeah, I paid $20 each day, Saturday, Sunday. For the first year or two, I was out there every Saturday just sampling the product, educating the customers here in the South who knew nothing about Italian ice. Italian ice is a northeast treat. Philly, Jersey, summer treat. Philly, Jersey, New York, Connecticut. And down here was snow cones. Everybody knows snow cones. They know Pelicans, Kona ice, but they knew nothing about Italian ice. So I spent the first couple of years just educating people and tasting the difference. And it's a totally different ball game when you Italian ice versus snow cones.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
So what's the difference?
So snow cones is crushed ice, fine ice with flavored syrup that you pour on top. Now, if you like just to chew on ice, okay, that's great. But all the syrup goes down to the bottom. Italian ice is made almost like ice cream minus the dairy. So The flavors is a bunch of flavors. My core flavors are mango, strawberry, cherry, lemon, sour apple, blue raspberry. I have more, but each flavor from the top to the bottom tastes like the first bite. It doesn't sink to the bottom.
Yeah.
The consistency is there from the top to the bottom. So
Mhm. Now, with you going to business school and knowing that you wanted to start a business, something that I didn't know as far as business funding, did you go that route when you first started?
now my route was really unconventional. Like, people ask, man, what was your blueprint? Did you have a business plan? None of that, man. I don't even know. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I don't even know where to start with a business plan right now. Like
I
what?
wouldn't either.
Yeah, right. And the funding was, I didn't have the funding. I was a sole provider of a married household. I was married at the time. She didn't work. I covered all the bills. I had 2 little boys. Well, they're grown men now, but at the
Mm,
time, little boys, Christian and Carmelo, and that's where the name Coco and Chrissy comes from.
okay.
That's their nicknames. Carmelo is Coco and Christian is Chrissy. But every dollar I made went to the home. And I came across some money through a little investment, and it was like 3 grand that I came back with. And I'm thinking of all the things I can do with it. I was young. I was like, man, I can get some Jordans, I can pay some bills. Oh, I could start that company. And I used that money to get the material. I got a little van on Craigslist for $1,000. I got freezers, $50 each. It's like as I started walking forward with what God told me to do, everything just started to fall into place.
Mhm. So how did you how long did it take you to come up with the name? Did you already knew you was gonna name it after your boys, or you just
Nah, bro. Like again, like I was. It just came to me. I don't even know how it came to me, but God gave me the vision and said, CocoCrissi Tropical Icees. Oh, that has a nice bell to it. CocoCrissi Tropical Icees. And that's how I came up with it.
Mhm.
It just
Oh,
came to me in a vision that he gave me.
okay. So how many you recently opened up a store, actual store.
Yeah.
Now is that the only one you have, or you have another
No,
one?
that's my only one right at the
Okay.
moment.
Okay.
I keep saying 100. I want 100 stores.
Oh yeah.
But the storefront, which is on the corner of 70 and South Miami in Durham, um, I live right around the corner. And I used to park my trailers and vans right up the street at another location. And on my way home, I'll be at the stoplight looking at where my storefront is now, looking at this vacant building for years and just envisioning that my name on the building. I had the keys in my hand, opening the door. I could see the name on the building, people outside eating, and it came to fruition. I manifested it, but it wasn't the store that I needed. The store is the bonus part. I needed the back part of the store. See, on the whole back end of the store is another 2,000 square feet for my warehouse because we make our own Italian ice in home. So that's where we
Mhm.
store all of our equipment and our product. And now that the store is doing well, I'm like, well, shoot, let's open up some more.
Right.
And that's what I want to do.
So you're in the process of looking
Yeah.
looking at different buildings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I want to stay here locally, saturate, the market here, and then start branching out different parts of the states and eventually in other states,
Mhm.
you know.
So what do you do in, like, I know it's getting cold and
Mhm.
downtime. So how do you
So
deal with that?
what do I do in my off season? So
Yeah.
yeah, my off season is like November 1st to March 1st, let's say. That's 4 months old, 4 months long. Even in the beginning, when I was just making enough to get by, I said I only want to work 8 months out the year. And I stuck to that. There's stuff I could do down in Florida right now. It's warm down there, but we go so hard during our season where we can't afford to take off for 4 months, relax, enjoy life, enjoy family, travel, play a lot of golf,
Mhm.
work out. But yeah,
That must be nice.
it's great, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right, right,
But
right.
the first like 10 years, winter time, especially around this time, it's a little okay. When's the weather gonna break? I need to start making money again because you see your account depleting. But right now we're blessed where we can take off and not skip a beat.
You never thought about doing hot chocolate or anything in the winter?
I could, man, but no, I
Right.
don't want to do
You
it,
don't want
man.
to do it.
Right now we're looking to invest our money into other avenues. where it's not us physically doing it.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
how. Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I see you have a lot of young guys. Not only your sons,
Yep.
but younger guys working with you. Is that how you build your team, or
Yeah,
how do
no,
you go about it?
that's like from the beginning. I've always been passionate about helping younger men and women in life, whether it be through coaching. I'm an athlete and I love coaching, mentorship. But through my company, it allows me to teach and give it opportunities to young men and women to think and act like entrepreneurs, to teach them, the skill set and the mentality and the work ethic. So when you see my crews at different festivals, yeah, they're young men and women running an operation, and that's the passion behind the business. That's the purpose behind the business is molding our future leaders, showing them there's other ways to earn income rather than rap, play ball, sell drugs. You know, you could be a millionaire scooping ice.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a millionaire. I'm just saying hypothetically,
Right.
you can be.
Yeah, claim it. You'll
Yeah.
be there.
Or maybe I am. I
Or
don't
maybe,
know.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's watching.
Yeah. You got a question?
Yes, ma'am.
With having 2,000 square foot in the back, right? You thinking about off season, you looking at the big boxes to put your product in,
What do you mean big boxes?
like your Walmart, your
Okay. No, I never thought about the retail like the chains.
Yeah, right.
If anything, one thing I would like to do during my season is like during the pandemic. How did I get through the pandemic? Because 100% of my income. I'm answering your question,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna bring the story up. 100% of my income was festival based, and when they shut the country down, there's no festivals to serve my ice at.
Yeah.
So immediately, I didn't panic. It was the beginning of the season, and I'm coming out of the winter where I didn't make any money. And the fourth quarter of the last season wasn't that strong. So I was really banking on spring of 2020. And I had a lot of things lined up. And I was down in Daytona Bike Week
Hmm.
working the festival there, and we was doing great that first day. Then at night, the police came through and said, "Hey, the governor's shutting the state down. We're closing Bike Week." And that's when I knew that the pandemic was real. Because it really didn't hit North Carolina yet. You would see what's going on in New York and in Italy. And that's when I knew it was real. So on my way home, driving from Florida, I'm like, Lord, like, okay, what are we gonna do? If they shut this down now, that means everything else is gonna be shut down after this week. But you know what? I'm not gonna panic. I trust you. I don't know how we're gonna get through this, but I trust you. A week later, he gave me a vision of packaging the ice in 32-ounce containers and promoting it on social media for delivery. So people always ask, man, can I have some for my house? And I didn't see a market for that. I just thought it was a lot of work.
Hmm.
But now with my back against the wall, I got to figure out what to do. So through the pandemic, I was marketing mobile delivery with the ices, and every week it'll just get bigger and bigger.
Right.
And we were making some real money to the point where people in other states was asking, how do we get it there?
Hmm.
And I figured out a way how to ship it. So I started shipping. So back to and we did great in 2020. 2020 was a blessing for CocoCrissi.
Right.
I learned so much about the business, what I can do, different avenues. I got PPP funding, great funding, got it all forgiven.
Right.
I used all that money to put back into the business. But now the bigger chain, instead of doing the stores, is promoting drop ship Italian ice deliveries for personal use all over the country.
What you mean personal use? They can make it themselves?
No, to
Oh.
personal consumption. Like
Okay.
so, like I can fit 8 containers in a styrofoam box, insulated with ice, dry ice, and ship anywhere in the country. So it's as if I took it from my freezer and hand delivered to you right then and there.
Mhm.
And it takes 2 to 3 days to get to you, and it comes frozen. So now with the warehouse in the back, I can meet that demand. I wanted to promote it, but I couldn't because I didn't have the storage space for it. So that's my next move. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned playing golf. Does that help you get away sometimes with all the business
It is,
aspects?
man. It is. Like, why do I love golf? I mean, one, I'm an athlete. I can't say former athlete because I'm always going to be an athlete, but I'm a former physical competitor,
Right.
running up and down the courts, and at 48 next month, I can still do it, but not at the level that I used to love to do it at.
Yeah.
But golf gives me that scratch from my itch to compete. And the guys that I play with, we're all entrepreneurs in our own avenue. But playing during the week with each other allows us to just forget about our day-to-day and just relax and enjoy life at that moment.
I seen you hit some balls too. You good at baseball too?
Yeah. I'm Puerto Rican from the Bronx.
I know, yeah.
Of course I play baseball. That's my first love.
Right.
Baseball and basketball was my primary sports.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am a 3-time national flag football champion, if the people out there want to know.
Yeah. Now, see, you got a chance to talk with Mark Cuban.
I did.
Yeah. How was that experience talking to him?
It was a dope experience, man. I was it was NBA All-Star Weekend in Charlotte. 21, 22, I forgot what year that was. And I was vending down there and I was setting up and I looked up and I saw him walking down the street by himself. And it was a good distance, about 50 yards, 100 yards away. But I knew that was Mark.
Yeah.
I dropped what I was doing. I ran up to him and, hey, Mr. Cuban, how you doing? My name's Lou Torres. Can I take a picture? Fine, let's take a picture. Then other people wanted to take pictures. Now, while they're taking pictures with him, I'm telling him my story. He's focused on the camera. I'm on the side. And I'm saying, yep, my name's Lou Torres. I'm from the Bronx. I started this company in 2009, and I have this many carts now. And through my company, I train young men and women to think like entrepreneurs. That was the last thing I said. And when I said that, he's taking pictures, hugging, holding people. He looks over at me. He winks at me and says, "You're winning." That tells me he was listening the whole time.
Right.
So he said, "All right, guys, I got to go. Oh, where's my hotel at?" So where are you staying at? He told me. I said, I can walk with you and show you how to get there. He said, "Come on." He said, "Tell me about your business, what you're trying to do with it." I said, "Hold on, let me record it." And that's how I was able to walk and talk with him for the 10, 15 minutes and got some real one-on-one advice from a true shark. And I've been following what he told me since then. And we've grown so much. And I know we're going to come full circle. I'm going to show him that video and show him what we're doing. And
right. Do you remember anything specific that he said during that walk? Anything that really stuck?
Yeah. I mean, how to grow the business, how to give my guys incentives to make them feel ownership, how to keep buying into the business because it's a low cost overhead. I can pour more money into buying equipment and vehicles, hiring people to run the business where I can multiply myself and keep it in-house. Don't franchise it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
he says because when you franchise it, you're babysitting other people.
Okay.
That kill the core purpose of your business. And at the time when I met him, I had like 1 truck, 4 carts. Well, now we have 6 vehicles, have trailers, vans, a store, 20 carts, 30 employees. So I've been following that blueprint and all of it stays in-house. We're still being able to grow.
Right. So when you first had that first cart, when did you know that you could scale the business?
Oh man.
When did you know that?
Honestly, it was like the first month.
Oh yeah, that quick?
It was that quick. The first, we were making money right away. My goal each weekend was to make $1,000. And we were hitting about $1,000 selling the ices. But then there was an event, the event that Kiwan was talking about in the video that we just made.
Okay.
Earlier that day, I was in Moore Square Park down in Raleigh, and there was a church that had an Easter egg hunt for the community, and they allowed me to set up. And I was selling $2 cups. I don't do $2 cups anymore.
Wait, what are they?
Right now?
Yeah.
10, 12, 15.
Okay.
Well, I mean, gas and home prices of homes
Oh,
are
yeah.
different now.
Hey,
So
hey,
yeah.
yeah.
Plus, I mean, there's a whole lot more operational costs with the business and the level that we're doing it now at festivals where I have to charge that much
Right.
to offset vending fees and travel and stuff. But then $2 a cup at 2 carts, I think I had out there, and we made like $2,500 in 3 hours, right?
Mm.
And then from there, we went downtown Raleigh where they had a female bike club. They're no longer together, QT's Motorcycle Club.
I remember.
Remember QT's? And they had a block party, and they allowed me to set up, and I came in there with the carts, and we made another $2,500. So we made $5,000 that Saturday off of 2 carts, and I'm like, wait a second, that wasn't hard. That was pretty easy. All right, what else can I do? How else can I scale this? And I knew right away I was doing the right thing. It's never been a time where I look back and say I should be doing something else, or this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm walking in my purpose right now.
That's good. And so, what do you say to people, even though you do have employees and workers?
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people say that if you're still working in your business, you're not really I guess a business owner or
Your business operator or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, the ultimate goal is to, walk away, let somebody else do it. But if it's your baby and you're passionate about it, it's one thing if you're enjoying it. It's not work.
Right.
Now, if you got to work it to make it, run and you really don't like it, that's different. But I'm all for. I will be hands on, not on everything. I'm scaling back a lot, but there's times I still like to go out there. I still want to get behind the cart. I love engaging with the customers, but I pick and choose what I do. I don't have to. But if it's your baby and you're passionate about what you're doing and you want to provide a service, a certain type of service, I'm all for it.
Right.
But also get to the point where you can trust somebody else to run it for you. That way you can focus on other things.
Yeah. There's a lot of time big business owners or millionaires, how you want to put it, they still have to do something.
Yeah.
Some type of meetings, go in, see what's going on. They still have to do something.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants financial freedom and time, and that's great.
Yeah.
But with these 4 months that I'm off, I'm technically retired for 4 months. I got to figure out what I'm doing daily, man. Like, at least if you're working, you got something to do. But you want to get to the point where you can pick and choose what you do. So yeah, I'm all for being hands-on, but also letting the reins go and let somebody else run with it. I just hired an assistant because after last season, as we're growing, I was like, no more emails, no more searching for festivals, or I'm going to trust somebody else to do it because I want to grow the business in other avenues.
Right.
Yeah.
My goals, my goals. I see you teaching your son. I saw one clip you was teaching your son, your youngest son.
David, yep.
Yeah, and you was teaching him, he was explaining where y'all went for the day and what y'all picked up and where y'all going and what's next.
Yep.
How important is that to you to explain?
That's huge, man, because I can go back to, at the time he was 6 when I explained it to him. But I can go back to even when my older sons, Christian and Carmelo, they're 24 and 21 now, when they were close in that age. And when I first started out the business, and it was a hot summer day, they wanted to go to the pool. We drove past the pool, a bunch of kids are in the pool. We can't go to the pool because we have to do business stuff. We had to go get supplies. We had to get icy. We had to pick up our employee, drop them off at the event. Okay. I told them we can't do this today. We got work to do. And they huffed and puffed.
Yeah.
And naturally, the kids want to be in the pool, right? Well, at the end of the night, I sat them on the counter in the kitchen and I explained to them, I said, guys, remember we rolled past the pool and everybody was outside having a good time? Well, what did we do today? We went and got cups and spoons. We went and got ice. We picked up Corey. We dropped Corey off. Did Daddy scoop ice at all today? No. Okay, but Corey did. Now, Daddy paid Corey because Corey works for Daddy. But look how much money Corey made for Daddy. It was a huge knot. That's before Square and taking cards. It was all cash. And their eyes lit up. I said, see, that's because we had to work today. Tomorrow, we don't have to work. You know what we can do tomorrow? What, Daddy? Whatever you want to do. Right. And they understood it. So explaining it not just to the guys that work for me, but to youth. When I go speak in elementary schools at any grade level, whether it be kindergarten to 5th grade, I can speak to them in a way for them to understand entrepreneurship, understand how a business operates to generate income in a way that they'll understand. And these kids, you can't filter, they understand it. You could talk to them in a way for them to understand it, they can get it.
Mhm.
And that's what I do with my kids.
Yeah. Oh, you did your sons, your older son, did they go to college or they
They're in
pursue-
schools now. They're still
Oh,
in school.
okay.
Yeah.
So what are they pursuing entrepreneurship or doing
Yes and
working?
no, because my oldest son, they still hands-on in the business.
Mhm.
They still work the business, but their passion is in other avenues. My oldest loves music. He's really good at it, and he wants to play.
Okay.
So I'm all for it. Pursue your life goal, whatever makes you happy. This is your fallback. If that doesn't work out, or if you can do the both, great. Um, my middle son, he's going to UNCW for acting and film directing or what, something in the industry, in the film industry. That's his passion. So I'm all for letting them figure out what they want to do in life. And if it doesn't work out, bro, you got that family business to fall back on.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I seen something that kind of got to me a little bit. Your pops,
Mm,
the dementia.
yeah.
And you was shaving him like after a year or something as from his diagnosis.
Yep.
How did that have an effect on you as far as that happening in your business? Did anything happen as far as your business? Any downfall or
No
setbacks?
no
because
downfall,
of
no
that?
setback in my business. But if
Mhm.
anything, it was a blessing for all of us. Except my sister, who's there, caretaking for him, and he requires attention, and she's doing an amazing job with him. But for the most part, um, every day's a good day for Pops. Like he just
Good.
wakes up happy. He's not like a grumpy dementia patient. The blessing that I got from him having dementia is that he was able to forget um, things that happened in his life that caused major consequences that he lived with regret when he was functioning, when he was mentally there. And now with the dementia, now that where that is completely a distant memory, it doesn't register, he's able to live his true form right now, which is a man who just loves on people, who has a kind heart, who's a free spirit, who knows the word, still knows the word.
Mhm.
He cannot tell you what we talked about 10 minutes ago. But you ask him a question about God or the Bible, he might not can quote scripture, but he locks into a spiritual realm, which is amazing. He
Mhm.
can say a prayer for you that you think you're healed right
Mhm.
now.
Right.
But what he did for me was he showed me that to live life with no regret, learn from your mistakes, but don't harp on it.
Mhm.
Okay, you went through that season for a reason, but it's not to punish you. It's either to bless somebody else, it's to learn from it, it's to be able to minister to somebody who might be going through something that you went through, and just enjoy life. And I have a whole different perspective on life ever since he was diagnosed with dementia.
Right. Now, how was, sometimes when we want to do things, start certain businesses, our parents might say, that ain't gonna work.
Hmm.
How was the support from him and your mother during that time? Like, because of course, you young and you're
Hmm.
going to sell ices.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what was their thought process?
No, they were for it.
Okay.
My parents have always been supportive on everything that I do in life.
What's going on? I hope that you are enjoying this episode, but I wanted to take the time out to ask you to please subscribe to the podcast. I've noticed that a lot of people are watching but are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss an episode when it's aired or about to air. And also, make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. Grab you something. Now back to the episode.
Um, so no, there was never no pushback from them as far as starting a business.
Mm-hmm.
I will say if you do face that, with a spouse or somebody that you hold in regards as a mentor or parent, mean, you follow what your passion is, what God tells you to do. You can't let other people's fears and projection blind your light. God didn't give them your vision. They can't see through their lens that you saw through your lens. So if you're passionate about something, jump out there and don't just tap the water with your feet to test how cold or how warm it is.
Go all in.
Jump in the deep end,
Yeah.
cannonball,
Yeah.
and learn how to swim.
Yeah.
Sink or swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when I was first starting this podcast and got in little videos and pictures, I was trying to get my daughters, to help because they good with that technology.
Yeah.
I'm just not really learning.
Yeah.
And I often heard different entrepreneurs say people don't see what you see, or don't try to bring your family in and work them because that's not their dream. That's not what they want to do.
Yeah.
I used to try to get them to take pictures and photos and edit. But then I realized, like, okay, they have homework. They have their own games they want to play. They have their friends they want to do things with. So I kind of backed off a little bit. Well, I did back off always.
Yeah.
But I still get their ideas and
Yeah.
see what they think about certain things. So.
I would love for my boys to be like gung-ho about CocoCrissi. But that's not their passion right now.
Right.
I pledged Kappa in college. I love my fraternity. They want no part of Kappa, right? But I understand that because it's like they both love music. It's like them giving me a guitar and say, here, learn how to play this. Play with us. I have no interest in that.
Yeah.
So I understand where they're at. So I don't force nothing on them. The opportunity is there. They work to make their own income. And if it's meant for them to run with it, then all right, run with it.
Yeah.
If not, you're just exposed to learning how to make money, how to run a business, how to conduct yourself, how to flip your money. My 20-year-old, I won't tell people how much he's put into his Roth this year.
Right.
Like how I show, because I match 25% of what you put in. That's an incentive I have in my company. I want these young men and women to be financially secure throughout life. So I had advisors come and speak to them. And my son has been contributing to his retirement since 20. I said, how much you put in there? And I got to match 25% of that? All right. Well, high five to you, man. I'm all for that.
So what age did they get it? Because my daughters, now they're still in high school. And we both try to teach them about finances and investments and stock. I'm always sending them something when I'm listening to something. They're like, Daddy, they don't want to hear it right now. They kind of get it, but when did your boys really?
They were always money savvy. They were never spenders. They never, was into Jordans and fashion. Like they're really basic kids. Even during Christmas, like they were never, oh, I want this, I want that. Nah, if anything, they worked for everything they had. Mello, he's always been money conscious about how to grow it. And he's been doing that for the last 2 years. Christian too, it just clicked one day. And they saw, and they also had other mentors to show them who are living through retirement and are millionaires and like, okay, well, shoot, I want to be like him. So they're listening to that advice. I would say for any parent who's educating their kid about money is one, just keep exposing them to it. And it's just letting them like being financial literate to respect money and they'll see how it can grow. These kids can go online and figure it out for themselves. But once they start buying their own stuff, working for their own money and buying their own sneakers, and then they realize, wait a second, them Jordans is not that important. That bag is not important.
Right.
So
who taught you? Who was you have any mentors in investment?
And
financing? Okay.
Yeah. My ex-wife's dad is still my confidant. Like I run everything by him. He's done extremely well for himself. So I've asked him questions along the way and other mentors. But did I grow up with that? Nah, I'm from the Bronx. My parents weren't wealthy. They weren't even middle class. Like we were living like poverty, below poverty, until my stepdad came in the picture and he changed the whole game for us and showed us a middle class lifestyle. But as far as investing and putting your money away, I learned the hard way. Because early on, I was making a lot of money, but I bought my ex-wife a Range Rover. I had an Infiniti M45, and just living above my means, check to check. And then when I lost everything, that's when I like started reading books like um, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
How to get out of debt and live a debt-free life. And that's when I started educating myself about finances and money and how to flip it and how it works. And I was able to be debt-free.
Yeah, I have both of those books.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like Dave Ramsey. They say he has an old way of thinking. But you could take he does work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
He works for a lot of people. And I think I gave my daughter that Robert Kiyosaki book. I don't know if she opened it yet.
No.
Yeah. So what's how do you set yourself apart from other Italian icy vendors?
What
Well,
sets me apart from most of them,
Mhm.
majority of them, is that our product is homemade.
Okay.
A lot of people who are in the business buy their brand, their ice commercially from Restaurant Depot and it does the job to make money for them.
Mhm.
And kids like it too, but there's still a difference in taste and quality.
Okay, I know there's a difference
Oh
between
yeah,
making
bro.
it
Well,
homemade
look at it
and
like
going to the
this.
store.
Like, you can go to any southern house down here in the South.
Mhm.
3 different grandmas. They all make fried chicken. It's fried chicken,
Right.
but do all 3 of them taste alike? Nah, one could have probably went to the gas station and got a bucket of fried chicken, or from Harris Teeter, put it on the plate. That's fried chicken. Then you have another one who has an old recipe from down the line family. It's gonna taste a bit different, and that's the difference between me and everybody else. So
Right.
ours is homemade, and the quality and the taste
Okay.
is grade A.
Now you say you lost it all at one point. How did you do that?
Through a divorce.
Uh-huh. Okay. that was
Through a
most of
divorce,
it, huh?
or just bad financial decisions, where I lost everything twice. I
Okay.
lost everything twice and built myself back up.
So you was selling ices between both of the time you lost everything?
Yeah. Yeah. The first one was, year 1 when I went through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
When I say I lost everything, I mean, I had to leave them the home. I had to start over. And the business was still brand new. So I really wasn't making a whole lot of money, enough just to cover the living expenses for my children and my ex. And I was living at the bare minimum. I was sleeping in my car. I stayed on the couch to couch.
Mm-hmm.
I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Shaw University cafeteria for a whole year. So I couldn't feed myself.
Mm.
And just kept grinding and just putting back in the business and just doing what needed to be done the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I try to cut corners, and every year it was just God was just giving me a little bit back. Um, and I grew the business to where I was able to support myself. But then 8 years later, went through another divorce.
Mm.
And I didn't lose like everything, but I mean, I did have to start over again, with housing and furniture, and the business was still somewhat new. But right now, if I lose everything again, I know I'm not scared of it. And most successful entrepreneurs or business owners have lost everything once, twice, filed bankruptcy, whatever the case is, but figured out a way how to get it all back. Right? But I don't anticipate on losing it.
Now, why were you sleeping in your cars? You had your parents went back home? Or?
Nah, I didn't want to go back home. My
Oh,
kids
yeah.
are here. My family's in New York. I mean, I had houses I could crash at, but my peers at the time were young too. They were getting on their feet, and I couldn't just rely, just stay with them just under strength for a long period of time. It was just times where just pride just said, man, just stay in the car tonight. And I think back now, like when I think about those nights, because it still is like right there, it reminds me of God's power and his promise. Because I didn't get it then. And it took years after that to get it. He was just getting my attention. And it humbled me. And now I can reflect back on where I was at that time versus where I'm at now and the journey along the way.
So what does it mean for you to motivate? I see you be doing a lot of morning inspirations or
Yeah, man.
in your car.
So That came from during the pandemic when I was delivering ices to people. And I was down in Fayetteville, and a customer that I delivered to who I didn't know, she said, "You got the Holy Spirit all over you right now. Like, what's your background?" I said, "Well, my dad was a pastor, my grandfather was a pastor." I said, "But I want no parts of that." And she says, "Nah, a church and a pulpit is not what God wants you to do, but he wants to use your social media as your pulpit to deliver his message. A lot of people be delivered and inspired by your messages." And I remember that like it was yesterday. So when I do Motivational Monday or whatever I drop, it's not because I want to hear myself and it's Monday. There's plenty of Mondays that go by and I don't drop anything.
Right.
It's when I feel inspired, when God tells me to drop a message. And then before I drop that message, I said, "Lord, what is it that you want me to relay?" Because I'm not doing it. I can get 2 likes. I get 1,000 likes.
Right.
Out of those 2 likes, somebody who was supposed to hear it heard it. Because I get messages on the back end like, "Bro, like that was real. It was authentic." And it resonated with me. And I'm just being obedient.
Mhm. Yeah, I saw you had went in the water, got baptized, got dipped.
I did, man.
How
I
was that
did,
feeling?
man. That was in April of this year.
Oh, that was this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was April of this year. And God has been I rededicated myself September 2024. And I just analyzed my life and was just like, okay, where am I lacking discipline in? How can I change certain ways? And what's important to me so I can give it more attention? And I started this path last year. And around April, my pastor at my church, his assistant hit me up asking if we can do ices for baptism that Sunday. So yeah, we'll be out there. I can send somebody out there. When I hung up, God said, "Why don't you get baptized?"
Mm.
It's like, man, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And going back to my Instagram, post it so people can see publicly what you did. Because there's stuff that's happened in my life that I'm proud of, and then there's stuff that I'm really not proud of. And there's things that people know and don't know, but I'm a public figure where if you do know or if you've seen what's going on in my life, and then you see what God has been doing for me over the last few years, God's gonna use me as a platform to show his power, his glory, because people live like my dad, he lived in regret. He lived in shame of what he did in the past. And we don't have to live like that. We can live freely on earth. We don't have to
Mhm.
go to heaven to live a free life. The peace is here on earth. And that's what my baptism was. It's just a public declaration of God is now over my life and watch what's about to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is the most important thing or the best thing that has happened to you since you started your business?
Since my business,
Mhm.
oh, there's so many, man. I mean, but I would say that the purpose of the business was to mold the minds and work ethic of young men and women that look like me,
Mhm.
you and I, and been doing this for 18 years. My alumni, workers who pursued their own entrepreneurial, endeavors, whether it be a side hustle or full time for them. There's a lot of CocoCrissi alumni that's doing well, excuse me,
Okay.
for themselves. So that's probably one of my biggest accomplishments.
Oh, you said alumni, CocoCrissi alumni.
Alumni,
They
like
work
they
with
work,
you?
like they
Oh,
used
yeah?
to work for me,
Okay.
and now they moved on in life, have married, have children, handling business, finish school. Um, that's probably my biggest blessing is just seeing everybody evolve into adulthood. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I guess I can't ask you what's next because you already told us you want 100 stores.
Yeah.
How realistic do you think that is that you can do
Oh,
100?
bro, anything,
Mhm.
anything you want to do, if you believe it, it
Mhm.
already happened.
Right.
That's the one of the keys of manifesting is that when you say it and you speak it,
Mhm.
that you believe it. It's only crazy until it really happens. People think you crazy.
Yeah.
But when it happens, it's like, man, he's been saying that all along.
Mm-hmm.
I got a frat brother of mine who said that last week. He said, man, I remember we used to have these talks on the golf course and you tell me what you're about to do and what you're going to be doing with this business. And I look at you like you crazy. He said, bro, you are living out everything you said 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. Well, I ain't no prophet or nothing, but I see a book somewhere coming.
Oh, that's definitely, it's definitely a book coming. Have I started? No.
Mm-hmm.
There's still more accomplishments and more work that I want to pursue.
Right.
Because it's a tell-all book, no holding back. And it's like, do I really want to share everything? But why not? I don't want to go live through life and what I've been through went in vain and can't bless somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a past. You shared it with me briefly, your past. Every man, every person out here was one mistake from going to prison, or made the mistake and were just lucky enough to never get caught. Half the people, I don't know the statistics, but I would say half of them in prison probably just messed up that one time. They just got caught.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what you do with your life after you get another chance. It's not like living shame on what I did, or I'm a failure, or I did this, and no.
Right.
I'm all about redemption, and I always root for the underdog.
Right.
I see the best in everybody.
Exactly. So what would you did we miss anything? Did I miss anything that you would like to share about your life, your business, or anything?
Well, yeah, I would say for entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
and not just entrepreneurs, anybody. If you're working, a hardworking adult, a person, there has to be a balance in your life. You can't just, you want to provide for your family, you want to go hard, but you can't miss special occasions. There's got to be a time where you got to stop and just pour into the people that you love, because that company that you work for, that you give everything to, at any point they can fire you, especially in this state in North Carolina, and everything that you did for them, they'll replace you tomorrow with somebody else. But your children and your family, you miss out on special occasions and you miss out on things, and you don't give them the attention and the time that they deserve or need from you, and everything that you've done to try to help their lives was done in vain. So have a balance between work, your family, your loved ones, and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta take care of yourself.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And we did an episode on work-life balance.
Yeah.
A lot of mixed views on it. But yeah. So what would you leave for an upcoming entrepreneur?
Up and coming entrepreneur?
Yeah.
So the ultimate goal is to make money off of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be discouraged, that it's not producing the income that you're thinking you should be getting. Focus on your craft, on the service that you're providing, and just represent yourself and your brand at all times. When you provide a good service and good brand and you're good to people, they naturally want to help you. They naturally want to support you. And then that's when the business starts to expand and grow, and then the money comes in. So chase the passion, chase the craft, and provide the best service you can. And then the money will come trickling afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
And then whatever you are studying or trying to do, go at it. Would you say jump in the pool?
Jump in the pool, in the
Jump in
deep
the
end,
pool,
not the baby pool.
in deep end.
Jump in the deep end and learn how to swim.
Yeah.
Sink or swim.
Yeah. Well, there you have it for another episode of the Impel Fort Podcast. And remember, seize the opportunity to grasp your dreams.